Here is a Quran-based translation of Surah An-Nisri using the true meanings of nikah, unification, alliance, and nisa, subordinates, dependents, or those in a weaker position. Traditional sectarian translation, for comparison, and if you fear that you will not be just to the orphans, then marry those that please you of women 2, 3, or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then marry liked one or those your right hands possess. That is more suitable that you may not incline to injustice. Quran-based translation, restored meaning. And if you fear that you will not be just to the yatama, those lacking support, then form alliances, unite with those subordinates, nisa, who are good for you, 2, 3, or 4. But if you fear that you will not be just, then align with one or those under your care. That is closer to fairness so that you do not incline toward injustice. Brave keywords based on the Quran. 1. Nikah, unification, alliance, or contract. Sectarians claim nikah only means marriage. However, in the Quran, nikah refers to an alliance, contract, or unification between people. Example, Surah 24:32, Yunah, those who are single among you and those who are suitable from among your subordinates and servants. In 4:3, nikah is about forming just and fair alliances with the weak, yatama and nisa, not just marriage. Now, 2. Nisa equals those in a weaker or subordinate position. Sectarians distort nisa to mean only biological women, but the Quran uses nisa in a social context, referring to those who are in a subordinate or weaker position. Example, Surah 2:82, and bring 2 witnesses from among your rijal, dominant figures, and if 2 rijal are not available, then a rijal and 2 nisa subordinate. Here, nisa is contrasted with rijal, not as women, but as dependents or those lacking power. 3. Yatama, those without support, not just orphans. Sectarians say yatama means only orphans, children with dead parents. But the Quran shows yatama means anyone lacking social, financial, or legal support. Example, Surah 4:127. They ask you concerning the yatama, say, improvement for them is best, and if you integrate with them, they are your brothers. This shows yatama needs social justice, not just charity. Understanding the real message of 4:3. The yatama are those who lack power, support, or protection. The nisa are those in a weaker or subordinate position in society, not just women. Nikah in this verse means forming alliances or integrating them into society. Justice is the main theme. The verse warns against unjust alliances and exploitation of the weak. Why sectarians distorted 4:3. 1. To justify polygamy, they mistranslated nikah to mean marry instead of unite or form an alliance. They mistranslated nisa as only women instead of recognizing it as a broader term for subordinates. 2. To justify injustice against the weak, the real focus of this verse is protecting the vulnerable, yatama and nisa, from injustice. Sectarians turned it into a verse about marriage laws, hiding its social justice message. The real Quranic message of 4:3. 4:3 is about justice for the yatama and the socially weak. The Quran does not promote polygamy, it promotes fairness and protection of the vulnerable. Nikah is about forming just alliances, not just marriage. Would you like to analyze another verse related to justice for yatama and nisa, or do you want to refine the translation further?